I want to talk to you a little bit about Bloom's taxonomy as a way to help you understand more about the type of learning you're doing in this class as well as your other classes. When you take an exam or do an assignment, you might notice that some of the questions you're asked are pretty straightforward. They just require memorizing and giving back some information, while other questions are more sophisticated. They actually require you not only to remember information, but also to apply it to a new context. Okay, so why is that? Educational psychologist Benjamin Bloom developed a taxonomy or method of classification of different types of learning. The traditional version is schematized in a pyramid, but I'll show you some alternatives. In this taxonomy, the base of the pyramid, what all the rest of it depends on, is the ability to remember and understand concepts. So the ability to memorize and recall, and the ability to really be able to explain a concept in your own words. This is the base of the pyramid, on top of which increasingly sophisticated processes can rest. Once you're able to remember and understand concepts, then you can apply them in new situations. So for example, if you're given a case study that you need to analyze, if you're given problems you haven't seen before that you need to solve, you can draw on your understanding and your remembering, but you need to do some more complex cognitive work to be able to recognize important features of the case and apply your information to it. Further up the pyramid, we have the ability to analyze a situation and evaluate it. And so this is where you begin drawing connections between ideas, comparing, contrasting, thinking about assumptions, etc. And then when you evaluate, you might justify a stand or decision about a concept. So deciding whether you agree or disagree, proposing solutions to the problem, etc. At the peak of the pyramid, you have creation, so producing new or original work that is your own. And so this is considered to be, in Bloom's taxonomy, the most complex type of learning because it requires you to basically do all of these other tasks and then take it one step further to creating something that's brand new. When you think about your schoolwork, you should be aware of where you're being asked to operate on this Bloom's taxonomy pyramid. Are you being asked to remember and recall concepts? Are you being asked to analyze situations that require you to draw on your knowledge? Or are you required to make something new? Oftentimes, you need to make sure that you've got the appropriate foundation to be able to work up to these more complex tasks. This is going to affect how you study, making sure that you've got a foundation of knowing and remembering before you begin applying. And it also affects things like test-taking strategies. So when you're looking at exam questions, you should be thinking to yourself, is this question asking me to remember something, or is it asking me to apply my information to a new situation? I should point out that these categories are not absolute, they're not cut and dried, and there are areas of ambiguity. But in general, when we think about this taxonomy, we can think about lower order skills such as remembering and understanding. This doesn't mean that they're not important, it just means that that your brain is really just working to encode and remember information. This is in contrast to higher order skills, which are the ones that take a little bit more cognitive energy to be able to formulate solutions to new problems. This alternative model shows still a foundation of remembering and understanding as a foundation of one's knowledge, with the application part of the taxonomy being a bridge between that foundational knowledge and higher order critical thinking skills such as evaluating, analyzing, and creating. Your professors will assign different types of work depending on the different cognitive goals they have for you in their classes. And these may also vary. So you may have quizzes, for example, that test your knowledge of basic concepts that may also move into application and evaluating ideas. You may be asked to apply your knowledge or analyze case studies in class or outside of class. And you may be asked to create your own products, such as papers, pieces of art, analyzing data sets to create reports, and so on. So when you complete this work, Be aware of the level of task you're being asked to do. Are you being asked to simply remember things or to apply them? How is that going to impact your approach towards this assignment? If you know that, you can make efficient strategies for being able to complete your work, and you will know a little bit more about how to ask for help when you need it. Okay, I hope this is helpful. This is a lot of stuff that I wish I knew as a student, and so I am telling you so that you know.